What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we are working on mall crawler again. This is probably going to be the last time you see this this third gen 4runner. So I'm about to do the last bit of work. Today I'll be doing the rack pinion. This is a brand new rack pinion from Detroit Axle, and these are off brands, but these are like the direct copy of the Freedom Off-Road upper control arm. So yeah, putting on aftermarket control arm to fix the caster a little bit with the lift. But there's that. Let's get it down to it. Yep, so this is the Dobson lift that I did a while back. It's been great. No disappointment. It is a little bit on the stiffer side because I have barely any weight on mall crawler. So yeah, once you actually put some stuff in, like I don't know, let's say you go camping or something, you put some stuff in the back with the actual weight, it's gonna soften up the springs a little bit. But yeah, so Dobson lift, it's like 2.5 inch, something like that. It's more like 3 inch right now because I have no weight on it. But this is the fiery red 13,000 pound winch. And then back here is the 4X Innovation rock slider. But all right, let's get down to pulling the rack out. I'm gonna do the rack out first before I touch the upper control arm. The rack is, when I'm just doing a rack pinion, the rack pinion always come with the inner tie rod. So if I'm not doing outer tie rod, which I'm not in this case because it's not, there's no play in it, all you do is just loosen up this jam nut, back it off just enough so that you keep your length. And then once you put a new rack on, you thread the rack on, well, the inner tie rod onto the outer, and you save your toe adjustment. You still need to get alignment done after you do a rack pinion or tie rod for any case, but this will get you closer, so there's less adjusting that you got to do. All right, so the next step, you want to soak these bolts with penetrating oil. If your vehicle hasn't been off-roading, you probably don't need to, but I've taken this vehicle off-roading, and there could be like dirt and stuff that gets in there. Just makes it easier. The next step is you gotta drop the skid plate. So next step is to loosen up the mounting brackets for the power steering cooler. This is what they call a cooler. It's just metal line. It's not much cooling, but instead of separating the lines, the bracket itself bolts to the frame, and you just want to take it out. It is there's one here and then one back there. The one back there is going to be hard to show you guys, but it'll be similar to this one right here, and they're just 12 millimeters. All right, so next step, loosen up this bolt. It's a 22. Well, this is a nut and there's a bolt head at the backside. There's another bolt up here, that's a 19. And then these two are also 19. I guess I should mention that normally to pull the rack out, you gotta take off the sway bars. The sway bar's been deleted already, so no sway bar on this. All right, so now that the rack is loose, you can go ahead and take off the steering shaft bolts. So this top one, I don't know if you guys can see this. So this top one, you just want it loose, and then the bottom one, you want to take it out all the way. Next step is to crack these two lines loose. The reason why I unbolt the rack first is so I can pull the rack back and be able to access these two lines. You also want to have a oil cash pan ready, because this is going to start dumping power steering fluid, or for Toyota's case, transmission fluid, because that's what it uses. Alright, so with the launch removed, the rack is almost ready to come out. I just gotta pull it out just a little bit and try and pop this steering shaft off the rest of the way. Or maybe it'll just pop off when I pull the rack off. Alright, so this part is kind of important, so that your steering wheel is not, you know, be able to go farther one way but not the other. But what I did is from here, I measure 8-inch. I get 8-inch on the old rack, and so I adjusted this one to 8-inch also, because when you get them, I mean, when you get them, they can move, so they're not like dead center. Especially if the box got dropped or something on the corner, it can push the inner tie rod inward or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of important. That's a step you don't want to miss. Yeah, so this is the bushing that goes over here. This is a good thing to replace these because the racks don't come with them. I freaking ordered a new one. I got a new bushing for the whole rack, but I forgot them at home. So I'm just gonna reuse it and give the part to my buddy, and he can install it whenever he wants to. Cause I don't feel like going back home to get it. I'll leave it up to him. All right, so the rack is basically done. I just gotta bleed the power steering fluid. I'll do that after the control arm and stuff is done. But so this is the first time doing this style upper control arm. The aftermarket one, you see how it's bolted down. Well, the factory one is the opposite, and this is supposed to be like an improvement. Design gives you better angles and stuff. So it looks like you'll have to take off the castle nut, knock it loose, and then you got, this is a ball joint, you got to press the ball joint out, because the aftermarket one, instead of having ball joint here, you have a like a sleeve that you, once you tighten it up, it press down on it. But anyways, this is gonna be my first time doing this style, and we'll learn as we go, I suppose. Yeah, so when the cotter pin sees in there, just break it off so you can put a socket on it, and then you'll just, the socket will shoot through the cotter pin. It's pretty soft material, and I'm not reusing it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, this freaking long bolt is a pain. There's a wire harness, and then there's a collision sensor that you gotta disconnect or move out of the way so you can get this freaking bolt out. Alright, so I'm to the point now where I need to press the ball joint out. Unfortunately, the way that this ball joint is freaking designed, you can't fit a press in it without removing the axle, because the axle is going to be in the way. So what I'm gonna do is just use the air hammer and knock it out that way. It's gonna be loud, so when I start to use the air hammer, I'm gonna mute the sound. Otherwise, it's gonna blow you guys' eardrum. All right, so this aftermarket control arm, it comes with these spacers. This drops in here just like that, and this spacer goes on the bottom. All right, well, that's it. You don't want to fully tighten this bolt until the vehicle's on the ground, and then you crank down on this, torque her to spec. But yeah, it's all installed. Now I gotta do the other side. Well, that's it. She's all put back together. I'm about to do alignment on it and call it a day. Go home and see what Tiffany wants to do today. There's the control arm. This is the passenger side. The brand new rack of pinion. And I already bled the power steering. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys again next time.